Good morning, everyone. Sitting outside our home. Wish I could welcome you all to come by and come indoors one day, hopefully before too long. Our Torah portion this week, Parashat Emor, is it's one of these like double resonant parshiot, because not only is the parsha timely because it's the Torah portion of the week, but the content of the parsha is also timely, because in this week's parsha we read about the mitzvah of Sefirat Ha'Omer, the counting of the Omer, which is a mitzvah that we are in the midst of right now as we speak. So I just want to offer just a few different perspectives that we find about this mitzvah and about this season that we find ourselves between Pesach and Shavuot, which represent sort of a real, just a few very diverse perspectives from very, very different angles. So one perspective, very mundane perspective, you find in the writings of the Baal HaTurim, Yaakov ben Harash, who was from Germany, moved to Spain in the 13th century, and he writes that Sefirat Ha'Omer is just a mitzvah to make sure that all of us find out when Shavuot will occur, since this in Eretz Yisrael, in the land of Israel, we are in the midst of harvest season. It's a very busy time for farmers. They're not in their villages, they're not at home a lot, they're out in the fields, and therefore they're going to miss the calendrical messages. When the Beit Din sends out messengers to say it's this many days until Shavuot, and this is when the new moon was declared, many people would miss that message because they're out in the fields. And so super important to have some mechanism for people to learn when the holidays will occur. And so Sefirat Ha'Omer makes sure that everyone is empowered to have their own calendar during this time. Very, very different perspective you find jumping ahead into the 19th century. Yaakov Tzvi Mecklenburg author a very influential commentary in the Torah called a Ketava Kabbalah, and he says the mitzvah of Sefirat Ha'Omer is for the purpose of indicating the prioritization in importance of Shavuot over Pesach. That Shavuot, in which we commemorate receiving the Torah at Sinai, is more important, or it's the purpose for which we left Egypt. And the way you indicate the importance of something generally in life is by counting. Whenever you count towards something, you show that the thing that I don't have that I'm counting towards, it's a lack that I feel, okay? And the thing that I'm looking forward to, I imagine this great pleasure and joy of finally attaining it. And that's always a dynamic when we count towards something, and even the more so when we're counting towards receiving the Torah. And so from Pesach to Shavuot, this is a journey of anticipation, of yearning. There's an absence we feel that we're so much looking forward to, and the way that the mitzvah reinforces this through this daily count. And again, think of a child who's counting towards receiving some sort of birthday present, right? Every day that they count towards that present, that they're thinking of how much they miss it, how much they want to have it, and they're thinking of the pleasure they'll get once they finally get it. So here we are. We are in these days leading up to Shavuot. Pesach is already a few weeks behind us, and that's this period of time that this week's Torah portion also describes. And the mitzvah that we have is a very important one. So either on a mundane level, just to make sure we know when Shavuot will occur, or on a much more values level. Okay, as Ketava Kabbalah teaches us, that we are meant to really internalize the fact that freedom is for the purpose. The freedom we attained from Egyptian slavery is for the purpose of standing at Sinai, accepting the Torah, and then embracing that life of values, life of meaning that the Torah makes possible for us. And so every day as we count, it's to remind us, not just on a calendar point, but also to remind us of a values point and a prioritization point to understand the importance of the Torah. I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. Maybe I'll see some of you from a distance as we walk the streets of Lakeview, and maybe I'll see others of you and our various online meetings and classes that take place in the coming days. And please God, eventually really, really look forward to seeing all of you in person in Shul. Take care, everyone.